Good morning, traders and investors. My name is Roger Scott, and today is Friday. It is September 24th. It is the third Friday, or the end of the third Friday of September. I finally said it. It is a little early. It's only about 7:43. The market's going to open up in about an hour and 40 minutes or so. As you can see here, the Dow Jones is down about 100 points pre-opening. The Nasdaq is down 83. S&P is down 18. But with that said, I wouldn't get too bent out of shape. We've been really bullish the last few days, and volatility has been running quite a lot. So we are down a little bit more than random, but based on what we've been seeing the last few days, and based on the fact that we've been making higher highs, I wouldn't make much of it. Matter of fact, if we get stuck at the 50-day moving average or come off a little bit, it wouldn't be too big of a surprise. So it's not too unusual to have volatility. And remember, today's Friday. Friday, the markets get wacky to begin with. A few things you need to take a look at right now. Put the call ratio, stable. We're not in danger zone. We're right in the middle where it's random. Nothing new here. We're not above 1. We're not below 70. Above 1 and below 70 is where all the fun happens. Anything in between, randomness, no directional bias. Bond market up a little bit. We got out of a short position. We made, I think, about 25% yesterday. I'm just waiting for it to bounce a little higher. I want to initiate another position. I think bonds are going to go all the way down to this base here, to the 146 level. But I figured with this big wide range day, we'll probably get a little bounce, a little bit higher. So I'm going to short bonds again, but I'm waiting for us to go a little higher before doing that. So just FYI, if you are in one of my programs, that was a profit we took yesterday on a position. Volatility, we're below 20. 20 is the danger zone. And even though the market's down, and this is working right now pre-open, this is based on the S&P futures, we're below 20. So there's not a lot of fear. I mean, it's not like the market is sleeping, but there's not a lot of fear right now. And as you can see here, technology is number one, and consumer discretionary is just a hair below, literally like less than 1% below real estate. So I am okay with the fragmentation. We got industrial, basic materials, we've got consumer staples and utilities that are a little out of whack, but we've got financials and healthcare. So I'm not as concerned with fragmentations. And if we look at momentum levels, and I'll be very quick because I don't want to bore you with all this stuff, because God knows we've been talking about it quite a bit, you'll see we have less than 50% of stocks trading below the 50-day moving average, but 200-day moving average is still looking pretty healthy. We have about 70% of stocks trading above the 70-day, the 200-day moving average. And if you look on a long term, we're still going lower. So long term, momentum levels still need to decline. But on a short term, I think we're pretty close to have bottomed out, or we're going to start going a little choppy. If you look at the QQQs, which we'll look at really quickly right now, you will see that we're already above the 50-day moving average, already the second day in a row. Now, if we can make it completely above, if we go up from here, and if we can get complete clearance above the 50-day line, it looks like we're almost there yesterday, or I'm not going to, it's like maybe a hair. But anyway, if we go above, and if today looks like yesterday, this is today, we're just starting out, remember. If it looks like yesterday, we'll be in much, much better shape. Now, yesterday, we had jobless claims. The number came in at around 350,000, a little worse than expected, but honestly, it's been overshadowed by the global economy, the supply chain turmoil, and the COVID Delta variant. And honestly, 350,000 is not too bad. We're going to start watching it a little more closely, but the number has been very, very solid for quite some time now. So as long as we stay near the current level, I think we will be okay. New home sales is coming out today. This whole week we've been having home sales, home info, existing home sales, housing starts and permits. It's looking good. It's looking solid. There's nothing really new in terms of homes. Looking at global economy, not a lot of new stuff, but again, just to give you guys an update and to keep you guys updated on what's going on with the global environment, some Chinese banks on Friday disclosed what they owned Evergrande. I can't get over the name of this company, seeking to dispel fears of financial turmoil as it struggled under $310 billion in debt. Evergrande's announcement that it was making payment due Thursday helped to alleviate worries, Investors were waiting to see if Evergrande will make an $83 million payment on foreign-denominated debt. They owe $19 billion in foreign debt. I just want you guys to know that, to have some perspective. And remember, as we're talking about this, remember, U.S. government is putting $120 billion into the market every month. Meanwhile, we're worried about an $83 million international debt. $120 billion a month, U.S. government. Evergrande owes $19 billion, and we're worried about an $83 million payment. I don't think so. I think we're worried about the ramification if this thing goes further and causes a domino effect. If anything, Chinese government might do to forestall a wider impact from a possible default. Honestly, folks, I'm being straight with you. Nobody's really worried too much about Evergrande internationally. We're worried about the impact of Evergrande. We want to avoid a Chinese Lehman Brothers. Chinese Lehman Brothers. I never thought I would say that. Chinese Lehman Brothers of what happened here in the U.S. in 2008, but I don't think that's going to happen because the international exposure is just not that big, and I think it's more of a worry than anything else. Traders have been feeling uneasy about how quickly the U.S. Federal Reserve might elect to rein in some of the support measures that it's been giving the market and the economy. That's the $120 billion that I keep talking about. Those worries were alleviated, allayed? I don't know. On Wednesday, when the Federal Reserve signaled it wouldn't begin considering such tapering of support till at least November. I thought it would happen in October, but what do I know? Before the end of this year, indicating that it may start raising its benchmark interest rates sometimes next year. The Fed said it'll likely begin slowing the pace of monthly bond purchases made through the pandemic to help keep borrowing costs low soon, if the economy keeps improving, and it is based on retail data, FOMC, and GDP. Now, when they talk about tapering, when they're talking about putting less money into the bond market, that means bonds go lower. And that's why I've been so bearish on bonds. I don't see any reason for anyone to buy bonds right now since the Fed is telling us they're going to start winding down, slowing down. What was the word they used here? Soon. Borrowing costs soon. Slowing the pace. Well, they're going to be slowing the pace of buying bonds. So every time I see a rally, and as long as we're below this level, I'm selling bonds. It's that simple. I can't make it any simpler for you. So again, we're watching the, let's see here. The market's down. The Nasdaq's down about 2 points. We're right at the 50-day line. If you look at the mid cap, I think we're already above, above the 200-day. We bottomed at the 200-day. We've been going pretty strong. So if we have a little setback, I wouldn't make too much heads or tails out of it. Don't read too much into the market, especially on Friday. Now, I've got a couple of stocks that I think will help you lower your exposure, not lower your exposure, lower your risk and volatility in this market. If you look at StockFetcher, you will see that market breadth right now, look at the number of stocks making 90-day lows, 34 stocks. The futures are down 100 points. There's 34 stocks making 90-day lows. Woo, we're scared. This market is really dangerous. 34 stocks making 3-month lows. That's it. And there's 137 stocks making 90-day highs. So the market breadth is very, very, very choppy. So even though you're seeing the market rise, internally the market is still very, very slow. And you got to protect yourself against the short side and try to make money from the short side. There's just not that many opportunities to the upside. We're kind of midstream right now, if you will, if that makes sense. So I've got a couple of short opportunities. Urban, Outfitters, clothing store, retail, Delta variant. Summer season is over. Holidays, we're going to have a lot of supply chain issues for the holiday. A lot of things that were made in China are now being made in Vietnam because of the regulatory framework that Trump had with China during his administration. So a lot of Chinese companies moved to Vietnam. Vietnam is doing really, really bad with the Delta variant. They've got 6% inoculation. So anything made in Vietnam, like clothes, it's not good right now. And I know they make a lot of their stuff in Vietnam. Just look at your T-shirts. It'll say Vietnam on the back, most T-shirts. It's a no-brainer. So I'd like to see it pull up a little more. Maybe that's it. I think this stock will go from 32 all the way down to the 30. And if it breaks the 30 level, this sucker can go all the way down to the base, which is the $24 level. So if I see a breakdown below 30, this sucker is going to go down to 24. I'm not kidding. Next stock, MSC Industrial Direct Mail. Now, this is a tricky one because this is an industrial stock, and I've been really bullish on industrial stocks. But I don't know about this one. This is like a direct mail catalog, premier distributors of metal, supplier industrial through the United States, distributes approximately 590 industrial products, but I think it does it through like direct mail catalogs and CD-ROMs. I don't know about that system in this day and age. Maybe a little overdone, but and I do like industrial stocks, but I don't know about this one. I'm not so bullish on this one. And I mean, it hasn't been holding on at all. So what I would do is I would sell it right here at around 80.30, put a stop loss around the 81 level, and see it drive all the way down to the 77 level. So MSM and URBN, Urban Outfitters, just not feeling it. MSM, just not feeling it. Now, stay out of trouble. It's Friday. This is not a time to be a hero. Keep your eye on the bond market. The bond market, volatility, put the call ratio, and market breadth and sector analysis and momentum levels are going to give us the full picture right now. Now, I want you guys to know something. Think about this. I just did a 15-minute analysis for you, an hour and a half or an hour and 36 minutes before the market opens. And imagine if you had this type of analysis with trades, giving you trades based on this analysis every day. Traders, they spend countless hours trying to make sense of how stock market has been moving lately, right? Think about this. And with so many catalysts pulling the market, it's proven to be especially difficult lately. But here's to say there's an easier way. I'm telling you, there's an easier way. Have you been watching my videos the last 4 days? Have you been noticing I've been picking market turns like a roadmap the last few days? And I'm not patting myself in the back, maybe just a little bit. But it's not hard if you know what to look for. Now, I've developed a system that's based on capital flows. There are some of the fastest and most powerful opportunities that exists. And folks, these capital flows, they work. That's how we just took a 25 profit on the bond market just yesterday. Just recently, we saw 40.29% on BBY, 35.71% on CTXS, and 54.44% on Visa in just one day. Man, I love it. Want to see how you too can get clear signals and trade like the elites? Of course you do. Click on the link below and learn what it means to be a Precision Profits elite trader. Folks, I want you to get a clear signal and trade like the elites. It's real simple. Just click the link below and learn what it means to be a Precision Profits elite trader. You guys will love this. I had a class yesterday. People were very, very happy. Let's put it that way. You are going to love this program. You'll get trades from me, and you'll get to spend an hour with me every day. What could be better, right? This is just a taster. Imagine us rolling up our sleeves like this and going deep. That's what you'll get with Precision Profits Elite. Do it now. Follow the link below. Learn all about it now. And as always, make sure to like this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're watching on YouTube. Stay ahead of the market by being the first to be notified when I post my next video. And if you guys are getting value out of this, send me an email. I love your love letters. support@marketgeeks.com. It'll reach me quickly. And have an amazing weekend. Bye, everyone. Stay out of trouble.